What's up, Banter fam? I hope you are having a lovely day. In today's video, I will be showing you an ecosystem that's being majorly slept on at the moment and is actually paying some of the highest APRs in crypto right now for liquid staking. I'll be showing you a strategy with no impermanent loss that's offering some amazing yield, and also be going through the reasons why I think it's a good play for this year. Let's get straight into the show. So yesterday we had Euphoria. We had the Bitcoin price absolutely pumping after there was leaked treasury documents which suggested that the executive order from Joe Biden would be less harsh than previously expected. So we saw this massive rally to the upside of around 8% on the Bitcoin chart, which was super positive. And I was thinking, maybe we would come back down and test, and this would kind of set up another massive rally here. It was this big candle here that we got on the 4-hourly chart, and it was looking quite enticing with some volume coming in to the market. But then we did get a dump. We have seen the price come back a little bit now, and we're pegging back down to the 39K region. This is mostly because of the CPI tomorrow. So the CPI numbers regarding inflation are expected to come in higher than 8%, which is obviously a slight issue because high inflation means there's an increased chance of tapering and rate hikes this year, which will basically mean that Bitcoin probably could struggle a little bit because the NASDAQ and Bitcoin are still quite correlated at the moment. So if the NASDAQ and tech stocks get hit, then we could see Bitcoin and crypto also get hit. But at the same time, I do think this is largely priced into the market right now. There's a reason why we're at 39K and not at 60K anymore. And that is largely because of the looming threat of these rate rises. So I'm not panicking at the moment. I am actually fairly happy with where we sit because we've been kind of ranging for a while. So I'm just taking a step back, looking at the plays that we can use to make money in this market still, and taking everything as it comes and not getting too rash with my buys or with my sells. I think patience in this time is super important. But the fact that this Bitcoin price is coming down isn't that bad for one reason, and that is because the Bitcoin dominance is also coming down. So we did see the Bitcoin price rally alongside Bitcoin dominance, but now we're actually seeing the Bitcoin price declining alongside Bitcoin dominance declining, which suggests to me that alts are holding up pretty well. And it's interesting that alts are holding up better than Bitcoin right now, with the Bitcoin dominance declining 1.5%. That suggests that the market isn't scared. Usually when we have these dumps, it's because the market is scared, and that will usually result in altcoins performing worse than Bitcoin. But right now we are actually seeing the alts hold up okay, which is a good sign. And on CoinGecko, we can confirm this because multiple top L1s are still holding up well. Solana down 7%. Something like Luna, which has shown amazing strength, is only down 2.7% for the day against Bitcoin, which is down 6.3%. So the alts are actually holding up very well here. Most alts are down less than Bitcoin today. Yes, Bitcoin did pump more than alts yesterday, so it's balancing out. But typically we do see when Bitcoin dumps, the alts dump harder, but that is not the case in this scenario yet, which is a decent sign that the market is holding up well. And that is kind of why I'm comfortable with where we're sitting now to be entering some DeFi plays, or at least getting involved in farming. And there is one statistic which is kind of confirming this in my head, and that is the TVL. So usually when the markets are choppy, people get panicky. People panic out of positions, and obviously that results in liquidity coming out of certain ecosystems, resulting in a lower TVL. But if you look over the past couple of weeks and we zoom in here, the TVL was at roughly 184 billion a couple of weeks ago, even 195 billion, and we're at the same levels today. In fact, since this low in January, we've actually increased our TVL by 8 billion. So it's an interesting indicator to me that the market isn't worried when it comes to DeFi, and that's why I still think DeFi is one of the strongest narratives in crypto, because we're still able to maintain a pretty large relative level of TVL compared to other sectors, which means that the market isn't scared, right? There's no better time to be staking your alts. People are actually staking right now whilst the market is choppy. And why is this important? Because money is staying in the ecosystem. The last thing we want to see is money flowing out of crypto. As long as money is staying locked up in DeFi, that is a positive sign going forward. So this is a positive sign for the market as a whole. But I use DeFi Llama as a tool to identify new narratives. So I'm always scouting DeFi Llama to see what narratives are playing out, what chains are growing significantly, what chains are declining, and then I use that data to base decisions around what I can do next. And there is one chain which has been standing out to me lately when I look at these metrics, and that is actually Kusama. We've seen the Kusama network really grow quite substantially over the last few weeks. It's up 50.68% on the week. It's one of the only chains in the entirety of crypto that actually managed to increase its TVL over the past week. We see it's mostly a sea of red. I mean, Phantom got absolutely crushed after the Andre news, minus 40%. Luna's up 8%, and it's been one of the strongest performers, but there is one narrative, as I said, that is performing stronger than the rest of the pack, and that is Kusama right now. So it's always important to look objectively at the market, and we're seeing that there is a stronger narrative right now at play, and that is the Kusama narrative, which is starting to eventuate here in crypto. And it's kind of interesting right now because the price is kind of lagging behind. We're seeing the Kusama price at $127, but we're seeing the TVL substantially increasing. So it could be an indicator that this narrative is picking up a little bit now. I know DOT and Kusama have been quote unquote dead for quite a while, but we are going to see a rally eventually. I am a believer in the technology here. So it's really a matter of when, not if, for Kusama and DOT. Obviously, it had the high of $500. We're now kind of bottoming out. This is a great accumulation zone around 127 if you believe in the Kusama narrative. And I'll be telling you some amazing strategies on Moonriver with Kusama today that you can earn some incredible yield. And that will be the basis of this video. But it's important to look at the Kusama price and what is happening on the chain to substantiate our basis for where we are sitting with the Kusama network. But a lot of you might not understand what DOT and Kusama is. So let's just break it down a little bit. Let's just break down what is actually happening with the Kusama network to see if this is a play here and how it actually operates. I think the internet is causing some problems at the moment, but we can keep powering on here. So the Polkadot ecology. The Polkadot ecology is basically an article, an infographic, which is dictating what is happening with the Kusama network. Polkadot is actually a layer 0 chain. So it operates with relay chains, and I'll show you the infographic here right now. And it has a canary network called Kusama. So DOT is basically a layer 0, and this layer 0 is basically enabling an internet of blockchains. So it's one of these protocols that is kind of an internet of blockchains where other chains can operate from it. So DOT is kind of like the centerpiece here. I like to think of DOT similar to Atom. It's kind of powering multiple L1s, and that is why it has relay chains where multiple L1s can work off the network. So the Kusama network is quite an interesting piece of technology. It's just taken a long time to build. So the developers have been super busy actually building out this product, and that's why we haven't seen necessarily some of the statistics reflect in the prices yet. It is going to take a while. I always view DOT as a long-term play. It is like a 3 to 5 year play in my opinion. If it works, it's going to work and pay off massively. If it doesn't, it might not necessarily pay off, but I still think it's worth a play with the staking potential right now. And that is really where I'm interested. This is a DeFi show. DeFi is the essence of what we do here on this show. So I'm always interested where the best staking opportunities are. And the DOT ecosystem right now, and Kusama and Moonriver specifically, are offering some of the best yields in crypto, which is really enticing when it comes to being able to earn passive income on your money. But the crowd loans are really is what's facilitating this, and it's kind of what is kicking off this system. We see if you lock up your DOT, you can actually, through the L1 parachains, you can basically get into new products on the parachains. So if you stake some of your DOT or some of your Kusama in the parachains, if they win a crowd loan, what you manage to do is actually earn a yield on staking through crowd loans. Personally, I haven't been a big fan in the past of staking my DOT or Kusama through crowd loans because I like opportunity cost and I like to keep my tokens liquid. And it's one of the reasons I haven't. But the rewards for the people that have gotten in on some of these crowd loans are substantial. The people that got into this Moonriver crowd loan on Kusama are actually earning $5,000 for every Kusama invested. So that just goes to show the power of how much money you can actually make if you pick the right crowd loan. Now, as I said, crowd loans isn't the way that I'm playing this narrative right now, but it certainly is a major part of this ecosystem because that is how they basically fund and that is how they raise capital to be able to launch these products. So with the relay chains, we have multiple networks, multiple L1s, which can stem off Polkadot and stem off Kusama. And it's kind of creating this internet network, which is super exciting. And it's one of the more unique pieces of technology in crypto right now. But the developer activity is really where I've got my eye at, because when we look at crypto, we want to look at where the developers are going. We don't just want to be looking at the ecosystems that are paying the highest yield. We want to be looking at the ecosystems that are building real product, shipping product, and obviously that is going to attract liquidity and attract VCs, which later will reflect in the price. But the first step of every product is the development. And the development on Polkadot and the Kusama ecosystem has actually been quite impressive. We can see the full-time monthly developers since launch, according to GitHub, is actually up there with Ethereum. It's one of the highest, one of the top 3 networks that's being developed on. So yes, we may not be necessarily hearing the full effect of what is happening here, but we are getting some details through the developer statistics that it is very, very, very built on. And the networks that are the most built on eventually will be the winners, in my opinion. I'm not saying this is necessarily going to be the winner. We can't predict years in the future, but what we can do is look at the metrics we have now to back up what our investment thesis is. And Polkadot has one of the highest developer rate and GitHub activities in crypto, which is really exciting for the network. I get a question though. I get a question quite often, and this is a question that I have been conflicted with myself for quite a while. It is, why would you own Kusama when you can own Dot? Like, what is the difference between the two? Like, I can own Dot, that's the main network. Like, why would I own Kusama instead? And there's a few reasons. I do think it's a valid point. Some people certainly have a valid argument in regards to this. But here's the first reason. The first reason is everything that launches on Dot actually launches on Kusama first. So it's kind of like a test net. You can run your experimental code. You can run products to test it before it gets launched on Dot. And that is exactly how the network works with the Polkadot ecosystem. So if things are launching on Kusama first, what that's doing is that's giving Kusama first mover advantage. It means basically it has time to attract more liquidity and create more of a network effect because it has the first mover advantage. For example, a Moonriver came out before Moonbeam. That year head start basically gives it a chance to attract liquidity like we're seeing at the moment and really kickstart the network effect on chain, which is different from Dot because this is obviously going to take a long time to build out. And don't underestimate the importance of time in crypto, guys. The more time these developers have to build, the more powerful they can build out their products. So that is why I do like Kusama. But at the same time, Dot is probably the better long-term play. So it's completely up to you, depending on where you allocate. But I know a lot of you guys do hold Kusama and do hold Moonriver. So I wanted to give you a strategy today to maximize those yields in order to profit off this ecosystem. Moonriver is basically the chain that is powering all this. So Moonriver is the major layer 1 on Kusama, and it's responsible for the majority of growth on the Kusama chain. So the Moonriver token is actually accounting for over 84% of all total value locked on Kusama. So it's pretty much 243 million out of 288 million is on Moonriver. So Moonriver is the main essence of Kusama right now. And the layer 1s are so important. And this is why I always love the layer 1 plays when it comes to investing in an ecosystem, because layer 1s are the power of crypto. We're going to need major layer 1 power in the future to facilitate the amount of users that are not only coming into crypto, but are currently using it right now. So betting on quality layer 1s is always going to be one of the safest and most pragmatic ways to approach this market. That is why I like Moonriver as a play on Kusama, because if you want exposure to Kusama, you can do it through Moonriver, and also the Kusama token will appreciate if Moonriver succeeds. So it's kind of like a win-win here. I think Kusama is the safer play though, because if Moonriver fails, there's still a chance that Kusama can have other really strong L1s on chain, as we're going to see in the future after the crowd loans. But the Moonriver network is certainly offering some compelling strategies here. And there's a lot of staking strategies which are now unlocked because of this big announcement on Moonriver, which has caused this massive rise in TVL. So when we look at TVL, we don't just want to look at numbers. We want to go, why did the numbers increase? It's the next step for you guys to be able to learn to fish for yourselves in this market and kind of be able to decipher what's real and what's not. And the first step to doing that is looking at the reasons why we get massive TVL increases. And the Moonriver network had this increase off the back of this new functionality. So basically, the Moonriver network is now supporting native cross-chain tokens. So you can now have your Kusama tokens, which were previously just on the Kusama network, and you can now have them across the Moonriver network because Moonriver is now facilitating the XC20 tokens. It's kind of like the ERC20 tokens that we see on Ethereum that are compatible across multiple chains. Now we are seeing Moonriver launching its XC20 tokens, which is enabling us to now take advantage of some strategies that we couldn't before. About a month ago, you couldn't really do much on Moonriver and you couldn't really do much with your Kusama, which is why a lot of investors weren't that interested. But now there's actually a huge DeFi opportunity opening up in this ecosystem that wasn't previously there. So let me show you a strategy to take advantage of this new capability, and let me run you through step by step how you can earn up to 73% on your Kusama using Moonriver. That is mental. No impermanent loss, single-sided staking, and you can earn 70%. It's basically unheard of. On Solana, you get 20 to 30%. On Phantom, single-sided is like 35%. On AVAX, it's like 20%. Luna, it's like up to 40% if you're counting Prism. But now we have an opportunity to earn 70% using this same method, but this won't be around forever. We know yields in DeFi do decrease over time. So take advantage while you still can, guys, if you own Kusama and if you're bullish on the Polkadot ecosystem. This is how you do the strategy. Firstly, you're going to need a Polkadot wallet. It's polkadot.js.org. You can get a wallet. I highly recommend doing this through Chrome, through a Chrome extension, and they also have an app as well. So the first step to unlock this new strategy is by having a Polkadot wallet. That is the first step. You're going to need one to transact on the network. The next thing you're going to want to do is transfer your Kusama from an exchange over to the wallet. So you're going to need your Kusama tokens on the Polkadot wallet itself so you can actually start transacting on chain. That is the first thing you're going to need to do. Once you have Kusama in your Polkadot wallet, come over to the Moonbeam network website. The Moonbeam network website has a tab called Moonriver, and this Moonriver tab is basically the hub of Moonriver where you can start staking your assets like your Kusama. So once you're on the Moonriver site and you've got your Kusama, you can start to take advantage of this strategy. So what you do is you come in and there's something called XC Kusama, which you can now deposit using your wallet, using your Polkadot wallet, and you can deposit Kusama. So if you have Kusama in your Polkadot wallet, you click deposit and you get XC KSM tokens. These tokens are just Kusama tokens, similar to ERC20. They are now able to be transferred cross-chain, which is really a really powerful step that is now added because of this new feature. So you deposit your KSM tokens in here, and then you head over to Lido Finance. And what Lido is doing is it's enabling you to liquid stake your tokens to earn yield. So you can actually stake your Kusama tokens to earn yield on Lido. And what this enables you to do is basically get the staking rewards from staking your Kusama tokens, but also keeping your Kusama tokens liquid. And by keeping them liquid, which means you get a stake token in exchange, then you can use that token to earn yield on other pools. So that is really, really important. And this is kind of what Lido is unlocking. If we look at Lido Finance, we see Ethereum's 4.3%, Terra 7.1%, but Kusama is still paying 24%. And that is because a lot of people still have their KSM locked up in crowd loans. There's just not a lot of circulating at the moment. And not a lot of people are actually on this strategy right now, which is why the APR is so much higher than it really should be. It should be a lot lower than this, but we still have a chance right now to earn crazy yields. 24% is just the start because you can farm the stake Kusama for another 70%, but I'll run you through that step by step. So obviously now that you've got your XC Kusama, you can come into Lido and click Stake Now. Once you hit the Stake Now button on Kusama, you can connect your wallet to Lido and you can swap your XC KSM for staked KSM. Once again, you'll get staked KSM tokens as a reward. What you want to do is only swap 50% of your XC KSM for staked KSM, because in a second, we're going to create a pool between XC KSM and your staked KSM. So we're going to need 50-50, right? So only swap 50% of your KSM in here. Obviously, you can swap all of it over on Moonbeam because that's fine. You want to wrap the tokens. But then once we come in here, now only do half of them. So only do half of them onto Lido Finance because we want to pool them together. So once you've swapped half of your KSM tokens for staked KSM, you can come into Solarbeam. Solarbeam is the biggest network on Moonriver. And I must note that you will need a MetaMask now to transact. So the first step was to have a Polkadot wallet with your KSM tokens. Now the second step is to have a MetaMask wallet because that is what Moonriver is on. It's on the MetaMask ecosystem. So you'll need two wallets to do the strategy, but this is how you basically enable the strategy. You come into Solarbeam once you have 50-50 staked Kusama, XC Kusama, and then you come into the farm tab here and you search under farm, under this farm tab here, you search Kusama. And under Kusama, we're seeing a pool that's paying 72.89%. It's absolutely mental. I have not seen yields on a single stake like this in so long, and that's why I need to show you guys this strategy right now because it's insane. So you come onto staked Kusama and you click Add Liquidity. what adding liquidity enables you to do is create an LP. So this is your chance to now put in all your XC Kusama that you created earlier on Moonbeam using the Moonriver tab. And then you also put your staked Kusama in here, which you got from Lido. And the staked Kusama is obviously earning that 24% yield that we talked about before. So now that you've created an LP, you can come back into the pool here, the KSM pool. And on here, you can click on the staked Kusama pool and approve and stake. So all you need to do now that you've added liquidity under this tab here is get your LP tokens and approve the transaction and stake it. And you will start earning 72% a year. Now, what are you getting in rewards? You're getting solar rewards, which you can obviously swap back for Kusama. You're getting mover rewards, which you can either pool in another pool, you can put it in here, or you could just, the easier way to do it is just to swap it back for Kusama. And you're also getting Lido rewards, which the easiest way to do it, once again, is swapping it back for Kusama. Because what I like to do with my yield farming strategies is compound back into the native pool. You can go crazy with the rewards. You can put the rewards into any ecosystem you like. But the simplest way to do this, if your goal is to stack Kusama or Moonriver, is to compound back into the pool that you'd like. In this case, I would be compounding back into stake Kusama with these rewards. You're getting them every single day. You can probably claim them once a week. I always recommend weekly claims are pretty much just as good. But yeah, this strategy is pretty genius. It is a liquid farming strategy, which is genius. But I do have a very easy way for you guys to visualize this now, because I know it gets quite complicated sometimes. But I actually had an infographic made, which is a way for you guys to visualize this strategy. And this is it. Super simple, and I'll be posting this on my Twitter straight after this video in thread form because I know you guys like when I break down things in threads as well as doing the videos. But this is the step-by-step guide on how to do it. Buy Kusama, send to your Polkadot wallet, transfer on Moonriver, stake in Lido, get your 24% APR, receive stake Kusama. Remember, only do 50% in here. Farm it on the Solarbeam farm. This says 36%. It's actually 72% annualized total. That is the total APR right now. It's around 72%. So this is a very, very good strategy for you Kusama holders. And anyone that's bullish on the Sama ecosystem should have some exposure to this farm. So if you're bullish on you're bullish on Kusama, Moonriver, this is one of the ways to play this narrative right now, offering one of the best strategies in crypto. I actually want to do something really quick though, guys, just before I wrap up here. I actually want to do a Q&A on my Instagram straight after this stream. So as soon as this stream ends, I'm going to be doing a Q&A on my Instagram, which is a link in the description. So I'm just about to end the stream. You can go and head over to my Instagram live just below. It's link in the description. And I'll be doing a live stream where I can answer your questions, because it's kind of hard to answer questions on YouTube. It's much better on my Instagram if I can actually answer your questions. So if you want to ask me any questions, doesn't just need to be about this, it can be about anything in crypto. Click the link in the description on my Instagram, and I will be running a live stream right now to answer any questions you guys might have in the crypto space. And I'll be going on that right now, straight after I end this stream. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure you smash the like button if you enjoy. I will see you tomorrow for some more DeFi Alpha. See you in the next video. Peace out.